Hello there, and welcome to Dr. JT's It's All in My Head Weight Loss Program. I'm Dr. JT, and in this video today, I'm going to talk about the 3 pillars of this program. So let me begin by talking about what I see as the overall objective of this program. And I see the overall objective of this It's All in My Head weight loss program is to help you get to a place that you can live with. You can live with the changes that you've made to get to that place of weight loss so you can stay in a range, a healthy weight range, something that you can live with when you get there. So how are you going to achieve the objective of this weight loss program? You're going to do it by using the 3 pillars of this program, and they are 1, making small changes, 2, not setting goals, and 3, going slow. And I'll go over each of these pillars of this program in turn. So let's begin with pillar number 1, making small changes. Why do we emphasize small changes? Why do we say it's important to make small changes? Well, the reason is we want to make a change that is big enough to have an impact. We want to have a change that's big enough to have an impact on our weight, but we want it to be small enough change that we can manage it. Because if you make a big change and you can't manage it, then it's not going to be successful. So what we want to do, we want to manage correctly the changes that we make. So if we make a change that's big enough to have an impact, but small enough so that we can use our willpower successfully. And so why is that important? Why is willpower, the correct use of willpower, important? Because we don't have an infinite amount of willpower. Willpower is like sprinting. Now, you can sprint, you can run fast, but you can't keep it up for long. And trying to make a big change and lose weight in a hurry, to make a big, sudden, drastic change in your life, is like sprinting full on all of the time. You're going to get tired. You won't be able to keep the pace up. So what we want to do is make a change that we can keep the pace, that we can live in, day out. A change that right from the start we're okay with. We're taxing our willpower. We want to make a change that's big enough to make a difference, but we don't want to make it so big that we can't keep it up. We want to make a change that today I can do. And tomorrow it'll be a little bit easier to make that change. And the day after, a little bit easier more. A change that we get used to. It's going to be a change in our habit. And this is a very important part of this. That's a part of making a small change. We are talking about making permanent changes. These aren't temporary changes. And everybody who does this program needs to get in their heads right up front. We are talking about making permanent changes. So if we make a permanent change that's small enough that we can manage it, that it's not such a big disruption in our lives, that we can learn to live with, that we can gain confidence that we can live with the change, that's the kind of thing that we want to do. So it's big enough to have an impact, but small enough that we can live with it. The second pillar of this program is not setting targets, not setting goals. Now, this may come as somewhat strange to you because almost every weight loss program that you may hear about, every diet, every plan, everything has a target. You're going to want to set a target to lose weight. And what I'm saying is that you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't get a target. You shouldn't go after a target. You shouldn't set a target. And why? Because let's think about this. Let's think about what we're doing here. If we set a target, we're going from some point A, which is where we're at now, some weight level that we don't want to be at, and then we're saying we're going to get to some point B. We're going to get to that point B, and we're going to go after that point. But what happens if we have a point where we start from and a point that we want to get to? What's natural? It's human to want to get there the quickest way possible, the most direct route. We want to get there by taking a straight line. But if we do that, we're not going to be paying attention to what we're doing while we're doing it. We're going to want to get to the destination. And this is why what diets are all about. Diets are about focusing on the destination, losing weight through some process, through eating some foods, drinking some stuff, doing some exercise program, whatever it is that's going to get to that direction. But while we're doing it, we're not really focused on the changes that we're making. We're following something that's outside of us. And what I'm talking about here is something that we want to be internal, inside of us. It's a small change that we make permanently, and a series of small changes that we make permanently, so that we are setting off, not with some target, not with some goal, but the direction, yes. A journey. We're setting off on a journey. We're setting off on a journey of self-discovery. What are we going to discover about ourselves? We're going to discover what our habits have been and how we can change them, and how each of the habits, the eating habits, and how we eat and what we eat, affect our weight. And as we find out each of those habits, each of those things that we did without thinking, that we make thinking, we begin to change ourselves. We begin to make permanent changes, changes that we can stick with, changes that will stick, and changes that will help us slowly go in that direction of losing weight. But it's a journey. There's no destination. But you say, well, don't you want to get to a certain weight level? Actually, we don't really know where we want to get to. This is a journey where we don't know when we get started where we want to get to. Eventually, you'll find out where you want to get to. You've gotten to some place. But here's another point. Once you get to a point that's the weight loss, you've lost an amount of weight that you can live with, that you're comfortable with, that you're happy with, that you can sustain and live with. You have to go forward. You have to maintain that. It's not just about getting there. It's about maintaining. And if you don't know how you got there, chances are you might end up back where you started. How many times have you dieted? How many times have you lost weight but ended back where you started? Or even worse. And what I'm saying is, chances are it's because you didn't consider the changes that you made. You didn't actually make the changes that you needed. And what I'm saying here is we're going to step back, not set a target, not set a goal. And we're going to go off on a journey and find out about ourselves and understand more about ourselves. And the more that we understand, the more we're going to know who we are, what our habits were, how we can change them, how we can live with the changes. And the third pillar of this program is going slow, is not being in a hurry. Not being in a hurry. Taking time. And that's a hard thing. That can be very hard for many people trying to lose weight because you're at that point A. Now we've said you don't want to set a goal, you don't want to set a target. And another reason for that is, as I said, you want to get there quite often as quickly as you can. The reality is that many times you set that target, you set that goal, and you get there as fast as you can. And what happens? You get the V-shaped recovery. Many of you have experienced it. That V shape. You lose that weight suddenly, and just as sudden, it all comes back. And you don't even understand how it all happened sometimes. Because you went too fast. So what we're saying here is slow down. Slow down. This is not a race. This is life. This is about changing your life and making the small changes that you can stick with. Making the changes that are big enough. Going in a direction, going on a journey, and going slow. You have time. You'll have time. Because if you just gain it right back, and you're back where you started, you lost time. You wasted time. So what we're saying is go slow. You don't have to be in a hurry. And when you get there, you'll realize that that's where you want to be. A place that you can live with. A place that you realize that you've changed habits. You've made changes. Changes that you can live with. So these are the 3 pillars of this program. And before I go, though, I'm going to make just a small suggestion. And it's a key suggestion. I'm going to make this over and over again. It's an important part of this program, especially when you get started, to think about when you're losing weight. And that's that you want to go to bed feeling a little bit hungry. Whatever change you make, you want to make sure that you go to bed feeling just a little bit hungry. And if you do that every day, feeling just a little bit hungry, you'll begin to lose weight. You'll lose weight and you'll gain self-confidence. You'll gain confidence in this program because it's your program. And that's what I mean. It's all in my head weight loss program. It's your program. So thanks for watching this video. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to this channel. And most importantly, please share this video with someone you care about. So thanks, and we'll see you next time. Bye.